The global balance of power is shifting. A silent invasion is underway, not of armies and tanks, but of algorithms and microchips. China, once a land of imitation, is rapidly becoming a titan of innovation, challenging the West's long-held technological supremacy. This is not merely an economic competition, it's a high-stakes race for global leadership in the 21st century. China's ambition is clear: to achieve techno-economic dominance by 2049, the centenary of the People's Republic. This ambition is backed by a potent combination of state-directed industrial policy, massive investments in research and development, and an unwavering focus on key strategic technologies. Chinese companies are already leading in critical areas like electric vehicles, batteries, and solar panels. They are rapidly catching up in fields like artificial intelligence, robotics, and quantum computing. Technological leadership translates into economic power, military might, and global influence. The West must recognize the scale and scope of China's challenge and respond with a strategic vision of its own. China's rise to technological prominence did not happen overnight. It is the result of a carefully calibrated strategy, often dubbed the circular innovation model. This model leverages foreign technology as a springboard for indigenous innovation, systematically dismantling the West's technological advantage. The first phase involves acquiring foreign technology through various means, including licensing agreements, joint ventures, and, in some cases, outright intellectual property theft. This acquired technology is then rapidly assimilated and adapted to local conditions. Chinese companies, often with significant government support, can produce these technologies at lower costs, flooding the market with cheaper alternatives. The next phase involves continuous incremental improvement and process innovation. The final stage is reinvesting profits from low-cost production into research and development, moving up the value chain. By the time Western companies realize they are being outcompeted, Chinese companies have already established a strong foothold in the market. China's technological ascent is no fluke. It is driven by a strategic framework and key factors. These factors, known as the 10 S's, explain China's success. 1. Science and engineering talent. China has a vast pool of graduates. 2. Head start in key industries. China recognized emerging technologies early. 3. Massive market size. With over 1.4 billion people, China offers a vast market. 4. Speed. Chinese companies are known for rapid decision-making. 5. Local suppliers. China has dense industrial clusters. 6. State subsidies. The government provides generous financial support. 7. Large firms. China has developed globally competitive companies. 8. Specialization. China has specialized research institutes. 9. Space for risk-taking. China's regulatory environment allows for experimentation. 10. National strategy. China's ambitions are guided by a clear strategy. The government ensures investments are strategic and aligned with national goals. China's technological prowess spans a wide range of industries, from renewable energy to artificial intelligence. In some areas, China has already surpassed the West. In others, it is rapidly closing the gap. Ahead of the curve nuclear power. China is a world leader in the development and deployment of next-generation nuclear reactors, electric vehicles, and batteries. China is the world's largest producer and consumer of electric vehicles. It has invested heavily in battery technology, securing a commanding lead in this critical sector. Neck and neck robotics. China is the world's largest market for industrial robots. Artificial intelligence. China is investing heavily in AI research and development, challenging the US for global leadership. Quantum computing. China is a major player in the global race for quantum supremacy, playing catch-up semiconductors. China is heavily reliant on foreign suppliers for advanced chips, but is investing heavily in developing its domestic semiconductor industry. Biopharmaceuticals. China's pharmaceutical industry is rapidly developing, but it still lags behind the West in terms of innovation. This is not an exhaustive list, but it highlights the breadth and depth of China's technological ambitions. The West must recognize the scale and scope of the challenge and respond with a strategic vision of its own. The implications of China's technological rise are profound, particularly for the West, which has long enjoyed unchallenged technological dominance. This dominance has been a cornerstone of Western economic prosperity, military might, and global influence. However, as China closes the technological gap, the West faces the prospect of a significant erosion of its power and prestige. The most immediate consequence is the potential loss of economic competitiveness. As Chinese companies gain ground in key industries, they threaten to displace Western companies in global markets. Beyond economics, China's technological prowess has significant implications for national security. As China develops advanced military technologies, it challenges the West's military superiority. Furthermore, China's technological rise poses a challenge to the West's values and way of life. The West must recognize the scale and scope of China's challenge and respond with a strategic vision of its own. The future of the global order may depend on it. The West's traditional reliance on market forces and limited government intervention is proving inadequate in the face of China's state-directed approach to technological development. China's national champion model, where the government strategically supports and guides its industries, has proven highly effective in closing the technological gap with the West. Market capitalism, with its emphasis on short-term profits and shareholder value, often struggles to compete with China's long-term, state-backed investments in strategic technologies. Western companies, beholden to quarterly earnings reports and investor pressure, are often reluctant to make the massive, long-term investments needed to compete with their Chinese counterparts. To effectively compete with China, the West needs to embrace a new model of capitalism, one that recognizes the importance of national competitiveness, strategic investments, and a more equitable distribution of the benefits of economic growth. This new model, which could be called strategic capitalism, would combine the dynamism of free markets with a more active role for government in promoting innovation and ensuring a level playing field. The West needs a bold strategy to address China's technological ambitions. This strategy should strengthen technological competitiveness, protect economic interests, and safeguard values. Invest in R&D, especially in AI, quantum computing, and biotechnology. Revitalize domestic manufacturing to reduce dependence on China. Strengthen education and workforce development. Protect intellectual property and counter forced technology transfer. Work with allies to counter China's influence. Champion democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. Tailor policies to each country's unique circumstances. The future of the global order may depend on it. While China's technological ascent is undeniable, it is not without its challenges. Several factors could potentially hinder China's progress and provide the West with an opportunity to regain its footing. Economic slowdown. China's economic growth has slowed in recent years, and there are concerns about rising debt levels and a potential real estate bubble. Demographic challenges. China has a rapidly aging population and a shrinking workforce. Political risks. China's authoritarian political system poses inherent risks to innovation, technological dependence. Despite its progress, China is still heavily reliant on foreign technology in some key areas, such as semiconductors and advanced manufacturing equipment. International backlash. China's aggressive trade practices, intellectual property theft, and human rights record have generated significant international backlash. The West should not underestimate China's ability to overcome these challenges. However, these challenges do provide an opportunity for the West to compete more effectively and potentially regain its technological edge. The competition between the West and China is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Both sides possess unique strengths and weaknesses, and the outcome of this rivalry will depend on factors that are difficult to predict. The West needs to adopt a long-term perspective, focusing on building its own strengths while anticipating and adapting to China's moves. This requires strategic foresight, the ability to anticipate future trends and challenges, and to develop proactive strategies to address them. The West needs to invest in research and development, not just in areas where it is currently behind, but also in emerging technologies that could reshape the global landscape in the decades to come. Furthermore, the West needs to strengthen its alliances and partnerships with like-minded countries. By working together, these countries can create a more level playing field and counterbalance China's growing influence. By embracing strategic foresight, investing in innovation, and strengthening its alliances, the West can position itself to compete effectively in the 21st century and beyond.